Only those who will risk going too far can possibly find out how far one can go. T.S. Eliot. Courage is what it takes to stand up and speak. Courage is also what it takes to sit down and listen. Winston Churchill. If you are lucky enough to find a way of life you love, you have to find the courage to live it. John Irving. Courage is resistance to fear, mastery of fear, not absence of fear. Mark Twain. What would life be if we had no courage to attempt anything? Vincent van Gogh. Courage is the most important of all the virtues, because without courage you can't practice any other virtue consistently. You can practice any virtue erratically, but nothing consistently without courage. Maya Angelou. He who is not courageous enough to take risks will accomplish nothing in life. Muhammad Ali. I learned that courage was not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. The brave man is not he who does not feel afraid, but he who conquers that fear. Nelson Mandela. Courage is knowing what not to fear. Plato. Efforts and courage are not enough without purpose and direction. John F. Kennedy. Jump, and you will find out how to unfold your wings as you fall. Ray Bradbury. Courage is contagious when a brave man takes a stand. The spines of others are often stiffened. Billy Graham. Courage, above all things, is the first quality of a warrior. Karl von Clausewitz. Any intelligent fool can make things bigger and more complex. It takes a touch of genius and a lot of courage to move in the opposite direction. E.F. Schumacher. To see the right and not to do it is cowardice. Confucius. It takes a lot of courage to release the familiar and seemingly secure, to embrace the new, but there is no real security in what is no longer meaningful. Alan Cohen. Courage is fear holding on a minute longer. George S. Patton. The eagle has no fear of adversity. We need to be like the eagle and have a fearless spirit of a conqueror. Joyce Meyer. Courage is doing what you are afraid to do. There can be no courage unless you are scared. Eddie Rickenbacker. It takes a great deal of bravery to stand up to our enemies, but just as much to stand up to our friends. J.K. Rowling. Never be discouraged. If I were sunk in the lowest pits of Nova Scotia, with the Rocky Mountains piled on me, I would hang on, exercise faith, and keep up good courage, and I would come out on top. Joseph Smith, Jr. Creativity requires the courage to let go of certainties. Eric Fromm. We have a powerful potential in our youth, and we must have the courage to change old ideas and practices so that we may direct their power toward good ends. Mary McLeod Bethune. True courage is being afraid and going ahead and doing your job anyhow. That's what courage is. Norman Schwarzkopf. It requires more courage to suffer than to die. Napoleon Bonaparte. You will never do anything in this world without courage. It is the greatest quality of the mind, next to honor. Aristotle. Never bend your head, always hold it high. Look the world straight in the eye. Helen Keller. If you have no confidence in self, you are twice defeated in the race of life. Marcus Garvey. Courage is not simply one of the virtues, but the form of every virtue at the testing point. C.S. Lewis. He who is brave is free. Lucius Annaeus Seneca. Have the courage to say no. Have the courage to face the truth. Do the right thing because it is right. These are the magic keys to living your life with integrity. W. Clement Stone. The greatest test of courage on earth is to bear defeat without losing heart. Robert Greene Ingersoll. He is a man of courage who does not run away, but remains at his post and fights against the enemy. Socrates. Bravery is being the only one who knows you're afraid. Franklin P. Jones. Bravery is being the only one who knows you're afraid. Franklin P. Jones. Those who lack the courage will always find a philosophy to justify it. Albert Camus. Loyalty and devotion lead to bravery. Bravery leads to the spirit of self-sacrifice. The spirit of self-sacrifice creates trust in the power of love. Morihei Shiba. Failure isn't important. It takes courage to make a fool of yourself. Charlie Chaplin. Courage is the greatest of all virtues, because if you haven't courage, you may not have an opportunity to use any of the others. Samuel Johnson. The opposite for courage is not cowardice, it is conformity. Even a dead fish can go with the flow. Jim Hightower. How few there are who have courage enough to own their faults, or resolution enough to mend them. Benjamin Franklin. A great deal of talent is lost to the world for want of a little courage. Every day sends to their graves obscure men whose timidity prevented them from making a first effort. Sidney Smith. Everyone has talent. What is rare is the courage to follow the talent to the dark place where it leads. Erica Jong. Bravery is the capacity to perform properly, even when scared half to death. Omar N. Bradley. Be courageous. I have seen many depressions in business. Always America has emerged from these stronger and more prosperous. Be brave as your fathers before you. Have faith. Go forward. Thomas A. Edison. Courage is the ladder on which all the other virtues mount. Claire Booth Luce. A timid person is frightened before a danger, a coward during the time, and a courageous person afterward. Jean Paul. Courage is on display every day, and only the courageous wring the most out of life. Zig Ziglar. Thanks for watching.